In this tutorial, we're looking at TimeShaper 3 from Cableguys. TimeShaper 3 is a powerful time manipulation processor that forms part of Cableguys' ShaperBox 3 framework. It's capable of a whole host of real-time effects, including reverse and half-time playback, stutter, tape stop and vinyl scratching. As well as more subtle effects such as wow and flutter and flanger. The plugin is delay based with a fully editable LFO that controls the delay's time parameter. It can also process up to 3 separate frequency bands, and each of these gets their own LFO. In addition to creating your own LFO curves, there are a bunch of categorized preset curves covering the main effects. To get the most out of TimeShaper 3, it's vital to understand what the display is showing and how its LFO curve affects the audio. With a fresh instance loaded and a single frequency band set at the top left, there should be a single horizontal line at the top of the LFO display. This shape puts the LFO effectively into bypass, and if you play some audio, you'll hear the plugin doesn't change anything. The scale of the display is set by 2 parameters. The bottom left parameter sets the LFO length, which is currently set to 1 bar, and the time range parameter at the top sets how much maximum time offset you can apply. The LFO length is the x-axis of the display, and the playback time offset is the y-axis of the display. To demonstrate, if you draw a straight line at the 4th quarter note and down by a quarter of the grid, the 3rd quarter note is played back instead of the 4th quarter note, as the playback start is offset. Armed with this basic concept, we can successfully reorder our audio in both radical and subtle ways to create chopped up and stutter effects. Using horizontal lines means there's no impact on pitch. However, once we start drawing diagonal lines, then TimeShaper 3 affects pitch, creates stops, and even results in reverse audio. This is all dependent on how the slope of the line relates to the slope of the grey line in the display background. For example, if you draw a line with the same slope, the audio stops. Draw a line with a shallower downward slope and it pitches down. Draw a line with a shallower upward slope and it pitches up. Draw a line with a steeper downward slope and it plays in reverse. Finally, once you start using curved shapes, things take on another level of complexity, and you can create effects like this.